Hello students. In the last video, we talked about the concept and definitions of attention. And in the continuation of the same topic, we'll talk about different characteristics of attention. What are the different characteristics of attention, or you can say the nature of attention? So, as far as the nature or the characteristic of attention is concerned, it is found that there are certain things which are very prominently found in attention, such as attention has readiness. So, attention has readiness means in the process of attention, readiness plays a very important part. When we are ready for some response or for some for some task to perform, or there is some need inside us, we pay more attention to that thing. Suppose we are hungry, so our attention will be toward the things which are related with food. So that is what is meant by readiness, that our orientation or mindset or readiness for a particular object or particular task makes it easy for us to be attentive for that. As I've given you the example of hunger and food. So when we are ready for something, like we are hungry, we are ready to find food, so our attention will be more towards the objects which can fulfill our need of food. Similarly, if we are thirsty, we'll pay more attention to those fluids or liquids which can quench our thirst, or water. So that is what is meant by readiness. So there is readiness in attention, or readiness makes attention easier for us. Then there is second point which we'll discuss later, this bodily adjustment. We'll discuss it later. And then there is selectivity in attention. Now, what do we mean by selectivity? Selectivity in attention means that we only pay attention to relevant stimuli. Whatever is relevant for us at a given point of time, we are more attentive towards it. So, because there are so many informations around us, there are so many stimuli around us in the environment, until we are selective, we are very choosy about it, it will be difficult for us to pay attention to all the things happening around us. So the process of attention is selective. We pay attention only to selected set of information or stimuli around us. So then there is purposiveness in attention. Means attention has some purpose. Without purpose, attention is not complete or possible in an adequate manner. When we have some goal or some purpose around us, attention becomes easier, or we attend to only those things which fulfill our goal or purpose at that point of time. As we have already discussed about readiness, so readiness, in that also we discussed the example of food and hunger and food. Similarly, our purpose is to quench the thirst or hunger, and then we pay attention to all those objects which fulfill that need of ours. So there is always purposiveness. Those things which cater to our needs of the hour, or which cater to our interests, or which cater to our goals, we are more attentive to those things, or those things catch our attention. Then attention is exploratory in nature. There is exploration involved in this thing, attention. Now, exploration means basically what happens is when we go to a new place, we pay more attention to each and every detail there. the places where we go every day, we are so used to the things, we don't even pay attention to all those things, because we are looking at them, we have experienced those things on the regular basis. But when we go to a novel situation or to a new place, then we attend to each and every novel object there, and we explore their qualities. So we can say that novelty promotes attention. So attention involves exploration. Okay. And then next is, it's a dual process. Attention is a dual process, or it involves shifting. Now, dual process or shifting means there are two processes taking place while we are attending to something, or while we are attentive towards something. One process is to bring certain thing in focus, and other process is to exclude other things. So other things go to the margin, and certain things are brought to the focus of consciousness. So that is why it is called dual process. And our attention keeps on shifting from one thing to another, one thought to another thought. And that also means it's a dual process. Sometimes something is being brought to the focus of attention, or focus of consciousness, and others are pushed to the margin, and after some time vice versa takes place, vice versa situation occurs. Means sometimes the margin becomes the focus, and focus becomes the margin. It keeps on happening because we can't pay attention to a particular thing for a very long period of time generally. So it's a dual process. Then attention involves activation, because it is an active process. You can't be attentive until you are actively involved in that. A student, if is not actively involved in the classroom teaching, can't pay attention to each and every word being uttered by a professor. So a person needs to be curious, a person needs to be aware, a person needs to be very active, then only attention can be paid. So activation is an important aspect of attention. Then it's a conscious process. Conscious process means until we are aware of that object or that situation, we are not able to pay attention. So a conscious process means we have to bring that object or that event in the center of our focus, or in center of our awareness. We should be fully aware of that, then only attention is possible. So because as we have already discussed that there are wide range of objects or events around us, wide range of information lying around us, but only certain things can be brought into the awareness, and we are able to pay attention only to those things. So that is why we say conscious, it's a conscious process. Then attention is a mental activity which involves all the three aspects of it. So attention involves all the three activities or mental activities. Now it's a mental activity. It takes place in our mind, and mental activity has three components. Or any mental activity, it has three components, and those three components are cognitive, affective, and cognitive. Means whenever we are attending to an object, we know about the thing, we feel about it, and there's a will to perform or act to reach the goal. So knowing about that thing is cognitive component, feeling about it is affective component, and doing action or performing some action to reach the goal, that is to pay attention, or to achieve the goal by paying attention, is the cognitive activity. So all the three mental activities are involved in, all the three components of mental activity or mental process are involved in the process of attention. Then the second point which we had left there, bodily adjustment, we'll talk about it here. It needs adjustment. So attention demands adjustment, and adjustment can be of different types. It can be receptor adjustment, it can be postural adjustment, and it could be muscle tension. Now we talk about what is adjustment. Means we have to make ourselves we have to prepare ourselves for the process of attention. So certain kind of adjustment we have to make in order to be attentive. So one is at the receptor level. That is, when we are paying attention to something, our head and eyes turn towards that object so that we can observe it properly, or it can be for a longer period of time or for a small period of time as the thing or the situation demands. Then second is postural adjustment. Postural adjustments mean we have to adjust our posture according to the process of attention. Suppose there is some sound coming from far, so we will get inclined towards that sound, will incline our head or ear toward that sound. So certain postural adjustments also takes place. And then muscle tension, because we are adjusting ourselves posturally, so certain muscle tension can also happen if we attend to a particular object or situation for a longer period of time. So muscle tension starts building up. So different adjustments are seen in the process of attention. Then attention has limited range. It means that only a few stimuli can be put into the consciousness at a particular time. So we can attend to only a few stimuli. We can not pay attention to a lot of stimuli altogether. So it has a limited range. Either we can put just one stimulus at a time in our awareness, or only a few. But the range is limited. It is not unlimited. So limited range means that we are able to pay attention only to a few stimuli at a given point of time. We do multitasking in our lives, but then our attention is divided between different tasks, and sometimes we are not able to handle even a single task in a proper manner. So it depends upon the nature of the task, whether we are able to handle it simultaneously with other tasks, or whether we need exclusive attention. So whatever is the situation, still the limited range is there for attention. Then it is a motivational process. Attention is a motivational process. That means that because our attention is selective, and it depends on our needs, interests, attitudes, and our voluntary actions. That means whatever our motivations, whatever we are motivated for, or whatever our goals for that particular period of time, we pay more attention towards that. If something is of our interest, something is meaningful for us, something is serving our goal or purpose, then only will be able to pay attention to that. So it is a motivational process. Until we have the motivation, we can't pay attention to an object or events or situations around us. So these are some of the important characteristics of attention, which are also called as the nature of attention. So rest in next video. Thank you. You have not seen even the previous video. Nobody has put the attendance below the video in the comment section. So why is it happening? Don't do it, and watch it in time and put your attendance accordingly. Thank you.